Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We start with Clement Lenglet. As Barca are confident of closing the 15 million rated outcast sale to Tottenham next week, we are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barca will prioritize the registration of two key players first. According to Gerard Romero, we are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. With only a little over 2 weeks left in the summer transfer window, Barcelona are eager to finalize the departures of the unwanted players from the roster. One such star who does not feature in Xavi's plans but continues to remain on the club's books is Clement Lenglet. The 28-year-old Frenchman spent last season away on loan at Tottenham, and talks were underway over a permanent transfer back to the North London club. But a disagreement over the transfer fee led to the negotiations becoming to a screeching halt. Of course, however, Sport is now reporting that Lenglet Tottenham Hotspur could be back on again, with the Lily White set for a cash injection from the imminent sale of Harry Kane. As per the report, Spurs plan to reinvest the funds from Kane's departure to Bayern Munich on four new signings, which includes a new centre-back, even though they recently signed Mickey van der Ven. And Lenglet continues to be their preferred option to reinforce the back line, with the player also hoping to secure a move back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, Barcelona believe that they can finalize the departure of Lenglet to Tottenham in the coming days, with talks likely to resume. The sticking point in negotiations had been the transfer fee, with Barca asking for 15 million euros, while Spurs were only willing to pay 5 million as they were taking over his wages in full. But there could be a breakthrough in the coming days, with the report suggesting that the player already has an agreement in principle with Tottenham over a 3-year contract. Over the past couple of weeks, Lenglet has attracted interest from clubs in Italy such as Juventus and AC Milan, although nothing came of it as they were only looking for loan deals. There have been approaches from Saudi Arabia as well, but the Frenchman wishes to continue in Europe, preferably with Tottenham. It is now up to Barcelona and Spurs to reach an agreement that is beneficial for all parties involved and close the book on the operation. Of course, Lenglet's future still undecided, and honestly, it's taken a very long time than what we expected, because about 2 months ago we started talking about Lenglet potentially returning to Tottenham for a permanent deal, something that looks now I don't know. Even though they're saying that it might work, they are confident of getting the deal done because La Liga have already kickstarted, and of course the season is already on the way, as Barcelona really need to do fast in order to ensure that the squad at Xavi's disposal is the squad that he really wants to work with going forward. Lenglet has never had any plans under Xavi, and the player knows that. He knows that very well. I think Sergio Dest is another player that his future is on the balance, that he needs to leave, but suitors are not coming. Barca are facing difficulties in offloading the player. Of course, Lenglet to Tottenham have always been on a standstill, as there have been a lot of disagreements as to the transfer phase. Barca have always insisted that Tottenham should give 15 million euros, but Tottenham up to now have stood their ground that they won't pay such. They are prepared to give just 5 million. Of course, and Tottenham are saying so all because they know that Barca will be desperate to sell at some point and they will accept that 5. But so far, Barca have not made any statement as to that 5, but they want something more to that, maybe 10 or at least 10 million. And also, Tottenham knowing fully well that at some point when the season is coming or when the summer is coming to a close, Barca will better just sell for any amount. Even the 5 will be okay because they know that Xavi does not count on Lenglet. And keeping him when the club is going through financial turmoil will be just a waste of money because his salary will be paid, you know, and of course it will be very, very difficult for Barca to do just that. So this report is just claiming that the Lenglet's future will be sorted out very soon by next week, as Harry Kane potentially leaving to Bayern Munich as he completed his medicals yesterday will be a Bayern Munich player, have opened up some huge space in their wage list, which will ensure that signing players like Clement Lenglet will be made more easier. And of course, that's just the hope, but it's not certain that Hurricanes deal will influence Lenglet to Tottenham, but that is what reports are speculating. If it happens, then good and fine, because Lenglet, as I said earlier, is not in manager Jarvis' plans, and the player himself will recognize that leaving is for his own career development because him staying at Barca this upcoming season will do him no good as game time will be hard to come by. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. Earlier today, Barcelona confirmed the agreement with new investors from Germany and the Netherlands for 29.5 shares of Barca Vision in exchange for 120 million euros. The financial injection comes as a big boost for Barca. It will enable the club to register all of their new signings and the players who sign new contracts. In fact, reports suggested that the Catalans had already begun the process to ensure the registration of all such stars before the season opener against Getafe. However, Gerard Romero you know, has now come up with a fresh update claiming that Barca will not be registering all those players immediately. Instead, the Blaugrana will be prioritizing the registrations of 2 players at first, with the 2 stars in question being Ronald Araujo and Ilkay Gundogan. Araujo signed a new contract with Barcelona all the way back in April last year and has waited for 14 months for it to be officially registered with La Liga. Of course, now that there is room and means for registration, it makes sense for the club to prioritize the Uruguayan given the long wait as well as his standing as one of the most important players in Xavi's setup. As for Gundogan, the German international has arrived at the club only this summer and is expected to be a vital cog in the scheme of things. What makes his registration a priority is that his contract with the Catalans reportedly consists of a clause that would allow him to leave for free if not registered in time for the first game. As such, Barca wish to take care of Araujo and Gundogan's registration first before getting into the rest of the players such as Oriol Romero, Inigo Martinez, Roberto, Pena, Bade, Alonso. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.